He's hurt, Joe. He is hurt badly.
Good morning, I guess. Although barely, I must admit. What are we, a week out from the spring game? So spring practice just ended, basically a week ago. So these players haven't even really been on their own for more than a week or so, as far as football being over. And here we go again. Different verse, same as the first and second and third and fourth and fifth. Every single offseason. I know UJ is not the only school this kind of stuff happens at, but geez, it just seems like we can't ever go a year without something like this happens. I know it happens every once in a while, almost everywhere, but Jesus, I mean, every single year, multiple people arrested. Now, listen, does this mean Elijah Holyfield has some sort of a problem or is a bad kid? No, of course not. It doesn't mean that at all. I mean, honestly, I'm more irritated, I guess, at these outdated, arcane pot laws and pot rules and regulations that UGA has specifically and in particular. I mean, the guy was caught with less than an ounce and drug paraphernalia. So I don't know what that was, a pipe or what. I don't know. The bond. Listen to this now. Listen. The bond for the pipe was 3.5 times the bond for the weed. So I guess it's worse to have a pipe than it is to have weed. $3,500 bond on a paraphernalia charge, $1,000 bond on a weed charge, less than an ounce. I mean, it's not like the guy is running around Athens slanging crack. The dude had a little bit of weed. I mean, breaking news, 50% of the people up there got a little bit of weed. Now, I'm not making excuses for them. It is irritating. These guys are on scholarship. They're there to go to class and play football. They have a golden opportunity. And it is aggravating, when they go out and do these kinds of things. But, I'm not going to throw them under the bus for one possession of weed arrest. I mean, it's different when you have these guys that get caught 3, 4, 5 times, within a 1 or 2 year period or something like that. Okay, fine. Maybe they have some sort of problem or issue or something like that. But, a kid that gets caught one time with a little bit of weed, I can't hate on that. Now, unfortunately for Elijah Holyfield, this is really bad news for him. UGA has some strict policies when it comes to drug arrests, and it's usually a suspension for 10% of the season, which is going to be at least 1 game, maybe 2, depending on how they work that out. I hope that's something we can change. I do not think that a kid should be suspended for 1 possession of marijuana charge. I just don't. Honestly, I don't think it should be treated any different than a speeding ticket or jaywalking even. But the rules are there, and this sucks for Elijah Holyfield because if you go back to last year, people were really more excited for him, I think, initially, especially during the summer, than they were Brian Herrien. Of course, Holyfield had that nagging ankle injury to start the season. It never really went away, pushed him down the depth chart. Herrien stepped in and did a hell of a job, and that has kind of put Elijah Holyfield already behind the 8 ball in terms of getting playing time with Chubb and Michelle coming back, Herrien ahead of him going into this year, Swift coming in the summer, the big running back recruit we got out of Pennsylvania. So, I mean, Holyfield was already fighting an uphill battle in terms of depth chart and playing time, and this isn't going to help. I mean, if he can't play in the first or second game, and Herrien, that means more carries for Herrien. and God forbid Swift gets in and goes off, we may have seen the end of Elijah Holyfield at UGA if that happens. Not necessarily because he got a possession of pot charge, but because this suspension may bump him so far down the depth chart and make it where he can't play the first game, maybe the first 2 games. And if Harrion and Swift go off in those games, I think you can forget about seeing Holyfield again. I mean, I hate to say that. I was excited to get him. I think he's got a lot of talent and a lot of potential, but this is bad news for him. I don't know what else to say. I'm not going to jump on him personally or anything like that. Like I said, for 1 marijuana charge, but you got to do better. I mean, you're fighting for playing time, and this isn't a good look for you. But anyway, not the end of the world as far as UGA as a whole is concerned. It seems like forever and a day now. If there's been one position on the team that we can afford some sort of setback at, it's running back. We've been blessed with some good ones, a couple of great ones even. So, this isn't going to affect our game against App State in any way week 1. And even if he gets suspended 2 games, there's not a running back on our team, in my opinion, that you could say, well, if he doesn't play, we're screwed. Our depth is great at the running back position at UGA, and there's not that big of a talent gap between RB1 and RB2 when you look at Chubb and Michelle. There's just not. Now, I love Chubb. I hope he goes off this year, and I think he will. I think he has the potential to have a really good year. But let's just be real. Losing Elijah Holyfield isn't going to affect UGA's ability to win any games this year, in my opinion. Anyway, I hadn't made a video in a week or so, somebody had messaged me really early this morning about this Holyfield situation, getting arrested overnight, so I figured I'd look into it and make a video with my thoughts on it. But hard to be mad at him, a little disappointed, I guess, and really just feel sorry for him. Like I said, depending on how this works out, this could be it for him at UJ. Not that he would get kicked off the team, but he may get buried so far down the depth chart, never to be heard from again. I mean, it's just a pot charge. It's not like he bit somebody's ear off or anything like that. So
barely listening to the commands of Joe Cortez. It's over. That's it.